Well, it's been 10 months since President Donald Trump signed the First Step Act into law, enacting sweeping criminal justice reforms, including a change in mandatory minimums for certain federal drug convictions.
And that resulted in the release of thousands of qualifying inmates, including a Western New York man named Monae Davis. 2 on your side's Pete Gallivan sat down with Davis to discuss the First Step Act and his second chance at life.
Monae Davis is working hard to reconnect.
You look at these streets differently now?
Yeah, I do.
Because a lot has changed in the 10 years he's been in prison.
It's simple, just influenced by your environment.
Back in 2009, Monae pleaded guilty to selling 50 grams or more of crack, a world he was sucked into at an early age.
It was like a lust for the clothes, the money. Then as you get older, then the women come with it.
He lost both parents when he was just a kid, so he went down his own path.
You get curious and you want those same things, so you dive out there, and from there just take off.
A path that included drugs and even the accidental killing of a woman.
I delved in it pretty heavy.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've read, you were a pretty heavy hitter at the time.
Well, yeah, I was, but keep in mind that the United States government do exaggerate a lot.
Exaggeration or not, he took a plea and began his trek around 5 different federal prisons.
The doors felt like they closed in. The windows seemed like they closed. Was nobody there. So I had to dig deep and reach to God, because I knew God wouldn't abandon me.
Big day. Big day. But it was an act of the Oval Office that has brought him back to Buffalo and given him back his freedom. In March, he had his sentence reduced and was released under the First Step Act.
It was time to fix this broken system, and it's a system of the past.
When did you find out you were going to be released, and what kind of, how did that impact?
Well, when I found out, I got the email March 6, 2019, this year. And the email came across, and it says, great news, congratulations, the judge just ordered time served and he ordered for you to be immediately released. And I didn't believe it. So I looked at it, read it about 30 times. Still didn't believe it. When I got a couple friends of mine, hey man, come read this. They read it. They said that's what it is. I fell out the chair, ran around the unit about 5 times. I still couldn't believe it.
And today he lives at Bissonnette House and is going through reentry training. Things like writing a resume, going through job interviews, and this fall he'll enter the Northland Workforce Training Center to learn a trade, welding. But he is doing all of this as a cloud hangs above. The Justice Department is appealing his release.
There are going to be people out there that are watching this, like the federal government are saying, no, he shouldn't be out. He should be serving his whole sentence.
But they're entitled to their opinion, as well as I'm entitled to mine.
Now, the Justice Department has so far appealed 81 cases and lost 73 of them. Monae is confident that will also be true in this case. In the meantime, he's just trying to catch up with the new world he is entering.
I got a 2-year-old grandson that can work this phone, and I sit and scratch my head like, I'm 44 years old and I can't work a phone. And here's a 2-year-old boy.
And he's trying to make up for lost time.
You come out and you're a grandpa.
Yeah.
I mean, that must hit you like a ton of bricks.
It did. I left when my daughters were, and come home and grown with children.
And while Monae is grateful for his freedom, he says the First Step Act has also been a positive step for inmates still behind bars.
The guys can take up trades, programming, to help them when they're being released from prison, they can get them a good job. It prevents them from going back to prison.
Something he says he has no intention of doing. Right now, he's only looking forward.
One step at a time.
Yeah, and when you look forward, are you starting to see a path?
Yeah, success.